I am Jennifer Sonko and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios along Kairaba Avenue. Thanks for joining us here at the Moon Local and Sports News Headlines. President Adama Barrow today inaugurated 20 new ambulances as part of a community ambulance service initiative. A Quranic recitation was held on Saturday at Suncho Alaji Central Mosque to pray for President Barrow and for peace to prevail in this election year. Over 2,000 coconut trees are currently being planted at the Banjul Beach by the Banjul City Council and part of the ongoing CityLink Banjul Ostend project. In international news, we will bring you a roundup of stories from around Africa, including the coup in Guinea. In sports news, we also have the latest in week 2 of the QCell-sponsored Youth Cup tournament, where Golden Youths Football Academy triumphed over Nema Academy in the under-15 category. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us, and I am Jennifer Sonko. Now, President Adama Barrow on Monday inaugurated 20 new ambulances as part of a community ambulance service initiative.
The initiative is to furnish hospitals and clinics across the country with mobility as part of the President's promise to improve the country's health sector. The 20 new ambulances are the first to arrive out of a fleet of 80 procured by the government. The rest are expected before the end of the year. At the ceremony, President Barrow inspected the ambulances, which appear to be in good condition. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmadu Lamin Samate, said the arrival of the ambulances is historic.
This is another step in the right direction. As we speak, in this country, we still have people, especially pregnant women, who are carried, when they are in labor, they are carried on horse carts, donkey carts to the health facilities. We have heard of incidences whereby a pregnant woman traveling to a health facility on a donkey cart, they got attacked by wolves. That's very recently. He thinks we need to do something about it. And what we want to do about it is to make sure that these ambulances are situated in the communities so that when there is a woman who is in labor or a very sick person who needs to go to the hospital, this ambulance will go to their home, to their doorstep, and pick that person up from the home to a health facility.
Minister Samate added that the ambulances will be distributed across all regions of the country to ease the mobility issues.
Now, the first 20 have arrived. We're expecting another 25 by the end of this month. By the 9th of next month, we're expecting 10. And the remaining 25 will come at the end of November. Just to give you the impact this will have, as a country, before the arrival of these ambulances, we have about 67 ambulances, the riders' ambulances together with the Ministry of Health ambulances, just about 67. Now, President Barrow's government is bringing in 80 additional ambulances. So you can imagine, never before in the history of this country.
President Adama Barrow says the initiative is part of his promise to communities to provide them with community ambulances. He thanked development partners for a smooth facilitation for the purchase of the ambulances.
We see the need to support the community. And mostly, traditionally, ambulances are stationed at the health centers. They are not within the communities. So we said now we should have community ambulances so that the ambulances will be within the community so that they can have access and quick reaction also to save the life of the people.
President Barrow added that his government will continue to support the people to promote easy access to healthcare facilities across the country.
That's why last year we take all the notes together. We put it together and there was a summary given to me. There was really call for these community ambulances. People, we are talking about ambulances, talking about the problems they encounter to access hospitals, especially very, very sick people. So that's why it's a promise that we have fulfilled today. It's a history as far as the health sector is concerned in this country. And we promise the people that we will continue to do more, depending on what they need. It's a third world country. Our resources are limited, but we want to do everything possible to impact the life of the people, and I believe this will impact on the life of the people.
This is the latest development in the health sector following government settlement of allowances for nurses across the country. The coming of the new ambulances is welcomed by the public, particularly those in the remote areas of the country. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
Babu Karsi there on Community Ambulance Service Initiative. Now, Quranic recitation was held on Saturday at Suncha Alaji Central Mosque to pray for President Adama Barrow and for peace to prevail in this year's election.
Muslims from across the country gathered to recite the Holy Quran to pray for President Barrow and the nation for peace to prevail before, during and after the December 4th presidential election. They also prayed for the country and the world to win the fight against the coronavirus pandemic. According to Usman Gay, member of the organizing committee, they are continuing the legacy of the late Alhaji Abdoulaye Cissé, who had been organizing the annual event.
Various communities from the whole country are represented here to pray for the country and peace in the coming election. We have also prayed for the people living with COVID-19 for a speedy recovery and for God to protect others who do not have it. We thank God that everything went as planned. We would like to thank the President for his contribution towards the event and anyone who has contributed to making the event a success.
Imam Alhaji Usman Jah attended the event and thanked the organizers for initiating such a worthy cause, adding that the aim of the event is necessary. He added that the recitation of the Quran will go a long way towards protecting not only the country but the world at large. Ibrahim Hassan Cham, a member of the organizing committee, said the day is meant to remind believers of the importance of the Quran and to pray for the country and its people. He called on citizens and philanthropists to remember to help students at the madrasas.
The madrasas are suffering because of the lack of adequate facilities for the students. So I call on the authorities and any other individual who can help the students at various madrasas to promote learning and the teaching of Islam.
Alhaji Sidi Mutar Gassama, a religious leader, said the benefit of Quranic recitation is vast and is not only going to benefit the community of Sinchu but the nation at large.
God will help us achieve our goals. The aim is not only for the community of Sinchu, but the nation. God will see us through because reciting the Quran comes with a lot of benefit in this world and the hereafter.
In an effort to see the country free from election violence come December 4, 2021, people have a strong belief that God will answer the prayers and the elections will be conducted without violence, and also the coronavirus that has affected all sectors of society will soon be had no more. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
As part of the ongoing city link between Banjul and Austin project for sustainable development, BCC and partners are currently planting over 2,000 coconut trees at the Banjul beach. QTV's Ansumana Usonyasi visited the tree planting exercise and he files in this report.
For the people of Banjul, the beach remains one of few places in the city where one can enjoy leisure time in a beautiful natural setting within the city. But the rising sea level and other factors, including human activity, have over the past years raised safety concerns, leaving residents of Banjul, especially the BCC, worried. To address the concerns, BCC partnered with the city of Austin in Germany with support from the EU to implement a mega 5-component project that is aimed at promoting sustainable development in Banjul. This massive initiative seeks to address environmental challenges in a multi-pronged approach, which includes the planting of over 2,000 coconut and other tree species along the beach in Banjul. Annette Kamara is the Communications and Visibility Officer of the Austin Banjul CityLink project, and she explains the reasons behind the coconut planting project and its benefits.
This is something that will continue, and it's not just 5,000 coconut trees. There would be 100 other species, 100 other species. That will be another variety that will be planted along the beach of Banjul as well. The target here is to go from, right now we've just started at the main entrance of the beach, of course, which is a black and white Atlantic Hotel, and goes down, and we've stopped around the cemetery. And we are going further down to, the plan is to extend to the bridge, because if you could see, the reason why we did not extend earlier was because of water shortage.
Mbuguma Ismaila Jeng is the project supervisor. He says the BCC has hired caretakers to water and look after these coconut trees. And in the spirit of inclusiveness, the council has also partnered with all youth groups and environmental activists in Banjul to ensure the successful implementation of the project.
We've already planted about 2,500 for last year. And this year we started a couple of weeks ago. We've already planted 1,000 plants. As you can see, this morning we were waiting for you, so we catered for 100 plants to do it in front of you.
Meanwhile, Maud Lamin Ba, PRO Banjul City Council, calls on the people of Banjul to take ownership of the project.
I will just want to inform the people of Banjul that this project is their project. This project is implemented, is going to be implemented, and is still being implemented in Banjul. And this is something that each and every Banjulian, and if I say each and every Banjulian, I mean by extension the Gambia, that will take the ownership to make sure that it's a very sustainable one.
Aside from beautifying the beach, protecting the city from possible flooding, and the riverbank from erosion, once fully grown, these coconut trees will also add to council's annual revenue, as each tree is expected to bear at least 200 fruits 4 times a year. And with each cocoa fruit now sold at least $30, the council can expect to swoop in extra revenue while creating conditions for development and growth at the same time. Ansumana Esonyasi for QTV News.
It's good to see Ansumana Esonyasi being part of the exercise there. Now we will go for a short commercial break, and when we return we have some more local news stories as well as sports. Do stay tuned.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and Ria just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from Ria directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Check out the all-new Tigo 8 at S-Pass Motors. Call 3522-222 or 353-2222 for more information. Cherry.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Jenna Bosonko, still on international local news, obviously. In its bid to fulfill its corporate social responsibility, a local school in Bruceby, African Children International School, on Saturday gave food and clothing to students, to hundreds of children and adults in the neighborhood. Momodu Lamin Choi has the rest of that.
This is one of the many occasions to which the school has invited needy families to provide them with essentials such as food, clothes and shoes. As a way of giving back to society, which has become a quarterly exercise, African Children's School mobilizes resources from its funds and partners in the UK. For this donation, the school management has spent over $30,000 to supplement the clothing and footwear materials it mobilized from the donor partners in the UK. Reverend Richard O. Jackson is the founder and headmaster of this school.
Just looking around us as a school, we found out that some people who are really in need, that really need help, and decided that the best thing we can do is to show them love and to invite them every time, every 3 months, to come into the school, and then we provide for them. This also, we have some support from our friends from UK. Like you can see the boxes, the cartons of clothes that have been distributed. They are from our friends in UK, Reverend John and Dorothy Baxter. They have been helping us with some of the clothes that we share. But most of the things we share today, they are from the school. We don't only take from the community, we also want to give back to the community, to the needy, the poor among us.
Hundreds of thousands of Gambians have been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic, in recognition of which the school is supporting the needy. The beneficiaries express gratitude and happiness for the continuous support they have been receiving from the school during difficult times. Aja Seynabou Touré and Omar Njai speak on behalf of the beneficiary.
Mr. Jackson,
For Mr. Jackson, today is not the only time we have received support from him. He supports us both during the dry and rainy season. 2 or 3 months won't pass without him inviting us for this kind of support. This will only bring him progress because he is doing it for the people in need. For anyone who gives breakfast, lunch and dinner, only God can reward him.
We are happy because otherwise today most of us would have spent money to buy the materials we got from the school. The beneficiary families are very happy today. We pray for progress for him and his school for a blessed learning. Hundreds of children are also among the beneficiaries of this humanitarian exercise. Apart from giving out charity, the school offers scholarships to needy children around the community as a show of love and contribution to humanity.
The school is really helping a lot of people. There are some students who are not having money to pay. Some parents that don't have money to pay school fees. We also provide them free education as well. We give 10 students scholarship, and that yearly we look at those who are really in need. We also give them scholarship and help them to come and learn from the school. The school has been a very, very help to the community in Brusubi.
African Children's School was founded in Esau in 1996 and later moved to Banjul and finally to Brusubi in 2008. The school operates a nursery and a primary school and offers a diverse curriculum, including music, martial arts, French, and choreography. The school prides itself in quality and result-oriented education for its students. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Thumbs up to African Children International School. Now, a 22-year-old boy residing in Farato needs urgent assistance for overseas treatment. According to his medical reports from the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Babukar Jallo is diagnosed with presumed osteosarcoma in his left forearm. Omar P. Jallo has the rest of that.
Osteosarcoma is the most common type of cancer that starts in the bones. The exact cause of osteosarcoma is not known, but it is believed to be due to DNA mutation inside bone cells. According to a 29 July 2019 medical report from the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Bubakar Jallo's examination saw an ulcerated lesion to his left forearm. He was seen 3 months later and the X-ray saw that the problem had worsened. The report further revealed that the only option in the Gambia for Bubakar's condition is limited to above-elbow amputation and tissue diagnosis for chemotherapy, which is not currently available in the Gambia. The report therefore recommends urgent overseas treatment to adequately diagnose and treat his problem, and also give him the option of limb salvage surgery or complex reconstruction. Speaking to QTV, Bubakar Jallo appeals for help so that he can achieve his dreams.
Really, it affect my life. It really affect my life because I was going to school. I do my junior school at Badibu, a place called Jawara. I did my from grade 1 to 9, so I skip grade 9. I come to Mindao, so I go up to grade 11. So I started see changes on my hand. I see that I cannot continue school, and my family are very poor, so they cannot help. So that's why I stopped schooling.
Bubakar was a commerce student at grade 11 at Mingdao Senior Secondary School and wants to be a banker. If his illness is not treated, his dream will not come true.
What pained me most, it bleed continuously. I cannot go anywhere. I'm sitting at home with my mom and dad. I'm not doing anything.
The 22-year-old also explained the stress of sleepless nights due to pain and being isolated by friends.
I don't have time with friends. and I have less sleep. I cannot sleep all day because my hand always pain me.
His mother Ramatullah Sonko described her son as lively and intelligent boy whose wishes to become a banker in the future, adding that they visited several hospitals in the country, but Boubacar's hand is getting worse.
Fu mu nekk nii li ma am rek ma jël waaw parce que wéeru naa si loxo yàlla léegi parce que awma dara laa yorut loolu la.
It really breaks my heart to see my son in such pain and suffering, and I am not able to help him. Babukar is one of my favorite children and someone I hope will help improve our living condition one day. But now this has happened to him. I am devastated. I am appealing for help so that he can go for overseas treatment.
Boubacar Jallow and his family are calling on the public to assist him to go for overseas treatment so that he can continue his education and realize his dreams. Anyone wishing to support Boubacar can contact QTV on 3333245 or send an email to news@qtv.gm. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallow.
Sending some love to Babukar Jallow. Now on to news beyond our borders. Now, here is a roundup of stories from around Africa, including the coup in Guinea, the appointment of the first woman defense minister in Tanzania, and the ongoing drought in Kenya. More in this report.
Guinea's military junta, who took power on September 5th, has announced a toll-free number for civilians to report any abuses by the security forces. The number 100 is available to all telephone operators in Guinea. The junta announced a 4-day consultation program with different groups starting on Tuesday. This will include political parties, religious leaders, civil society, and members of the international community. A Guinean opposition leader who left the country 10 months ago returned to the capital Conakry on Saturday. Sidia Touré, leader of the Union of Republican Forces Party, moved to Paris after alleged threats from Condé and the arrest of several of his critics. In a speech outside the headquarters, Touré called for the release of prisoners of conscience and for Condé's human rights to be respected. A mission of the West African Regional Group ECOWAS met the junta on Friday and said that the deposed President Alpha Condé was in good health. Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu has announced the country's first woman defense minister. Stergomena Tax replaces Elias Kwandikwa, who died in August. The president also revoked the appointment of 3 cabinet ministers and appointed a new attorney general. Those sacked are the communication, transport, and energy ministers. President Suluhu brought back January Makamba as energy minister, whose appointment had been revoked by former President John Magufuli. The president appointed George Ileza Felesi as the new attorney general to replace Adela Duskilangi, who has been appointed an ambassador. 1 person has died and more than 20 people are admitted to hospital in Kilifi in coastal Kenya as families struggle to cope with an ongoing drought. Some 250,000 locals are in a dire need of help, according to local authorities. Livestock have died as there is no pasture left. Sikari Kombe, a mother of 8, has told the BBC that she has been feeding her children with bitter leaves from the only tree locally known as Ntunguru that has survived the drought. Kombe said the leaves are bitter, but they have nothing else to eat. She added that they sometimes get donations of corn flour that they use to prepare cornmeal. Her livestock have died due to the drought, and she only has 1 cow left. More than 2 million Kenyans are affected, prompting President Uhuru Kenyatta to declare the drought a national disaster. The president has directed Treasury and the Interior Minister to support the affected families. Reporting for QTV News, I am Yahya Jao.
From the internationals, now let's take a look at what is happening in the world of sports. In week 2 of the QCell-sponsored Youth Cup tournament, Golden Youth Football Academy defeated Nema Academy 2-1 in the under-15 category. Our reporter Momodu Gajaga watched the match at the Q City football field and he fastened this report.
Exciting second half with a late winner for Golden Youth Football Academy, Gaifa. They had taken the lead midway into the second half, but their opponents, Nema United, equalized with a robust attack after Gaifa failed to deal with a corner kick inside the box. The winning goal came when Gaifa built an attack and their striker overran the defense before converting the winner in the dying moments of the match. The first half wasn't as exciting as it could have been, as both sides struggled to control the ball. In the second game on Sunday, the two sides faced each other in the under-18 category. Gaifa dominated possession for the greater part of the game, creating several chances, but were wasteful in front of goal. Ismail Sow had 3 clear chances, but failed to convert any of them. The game ended in a goalless draw. In Saturday's 2 matches, Quantum FC defeated QCity FC 2-1 in the under-15 category, while QCity FC won 3-0 against Quantum in the under-18 category. Mamadou Kajaga, QTV News.
Before we take a leave, let's take a look at our main headlines. President Adama Barrow on Monday inaugurated 20 new ambulances as part of a community ambulance service initiative. A Quranic recitation was held on Saturday at the Suncho Alaji Central Mosque by religious leaders and residents of Suncho Alaji. This is an annual event in its 4th year. As part of the ongoing City Link between Banjul and Ostain project for sustainable development, BCC and partners are currently planting over 200 coconut trees at the Banjul beach. Well, I'm afraid that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Do join us at 10 for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.